All right, yeah, we're live. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope you're having a wonderful week. I hope you can hear me. I hope the audio is okay. I really, I like what I do, and part of my job is to make sure that the spring community knows what's going on, what's cool, what's new, what's happening, and yeah. So I make demos, and I like to record little videos. So today, all I'm going to do is I'm going to record some videos, and then I'm gonna just do it, and I'll slice up the video afterward. That's the plan, anyways. Who knows what it'll actually turn out? So we'll see. We'll take a look. So I have a handful that I do a lot, and if you've been here before, you are very familiar with it already. So let's get. I'm gonna get myself set up here. I'm gonna get the repos up. This is the demo that I'm going to be doing first. I made some upgrades to it a minute ago. This is the repo that I'll start with. So one of the things is, do I want to have this? Yeah, I'll just do it this way. We'll do a quick one, and we'll go from there. So I like to, we'll show this first. We'll show that at the end. I'll do the before here, and then I'll do an after. It's just, I'm gonna run the same report. But it's new, right? There's always new versions of Spring Boot coming out, so this report's gonna look better, different than what it did the last time I recorded it. So we're gonna slice it up and record a new one. But I'm gonna do some steps because this is where I always get choked up. Is like, oh, I gotta type and talk and type and talking at the same time is difficult for me sometimes. So you'll see that I pause to make sure I'm spelling my own name right. I am a Spring developer advocate at Broadcom, and my email is deshaun.carter@broadcom.com. I'm in the U.S. Oh, and I'm in Missouri. So I'm filling that out so that I don't have to stumble through the typing when I do it. But there might be something interesting here today. But really, if nothing else, it's just practice, right? Because most of the time, I'm doing these demos in front of an audience, right? An org, a team, probably like yours. And sometimes teams are surprised, and that's the thing, right? There's many times, excuse me, in my career where I just didn't know that there was really cool stuff out there and available. And it took, a jug or a meetup or something in order to like be aware. Right? The stuff that I'm showing, right, has been around for a long time, but sometimes, and it still surprises me to this day, that people are unaware of some of the stuff. Like one of my favorite things, and this is a blog from today or yesterday, I believe. It got published yesterday. But this is IntelliJ. This is the IDE that I use. And IntelliJ, in their latest release, added support for Open Rewrite. And I use Open Rewrite all the time, so we're gonna do that. But right, did you know? Are you familiar with Open Rewrite? Have you been using it? If not, you should. If you stick around, you'll see a little bit of why I like it, some of the cool stuff you can do. So I'm gonna show this. Let me jump over here. I'm not gonna do this one yet. Because I'm gonna see if I can get a new build pack on that foundation. So let's just get ready, and I don't have to hit record. I'm just gonna do the demo, and we'll see how it goes. Do I want to do? Yeah, I do. So I'm going to change the demo. A lot of times I do it on autopilot, so I don't have to touch things, but I'm going to talk this one through. So we're going to start here. And we'll just, you're getting a behind the scenes look at how I'm no good at making things fancy. I just want to record it. We're gonna do 2.6. So let's do a git pull. Let's change that version. Like, not that it matters, but we're gonna change it anyways. We're gonna go to 402 is the latest. And all right, awesome. So we're at 402. Let me do a git status. Oh, I can't modify that, but I'm gonna remove this. And I think I'll do this. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, I gotta figure out my schedule because the time that I had, coming into the year, the time I had set aside to do live streams, it's kind of gotten eaten up by other things that I have to do for the job. So I'm going to be reswizzling, but basically, when I find time that I can come out and hang out, and I'm doing this anyways, why not just do it live? So thanks for hanging out. I'm glad that you're here. I appreciate you. So let's jump in. We'll just do action, right? I'm wondering, should I make my face bigger or no? No, we'll leave it. Right? The code is the star of the show. So, hi. Hi, I'm Deshaun, and we're just gonna do a quick little demo. You may have some older Spring Boot workloads running in production today. If you didn't know, today is February 29th, which we don't get those very often. And earlier this month, Spring Boot 2.6 was end of life. There's no more, not even commercial support for Spring Boot 2.6. So if you're running Spring Boot 2.6, there's going to be no more releases coming from the Spring team. Today, 2.7, if you're on 2.7 and you have commercial support, you're in good shape. But I really want you to be in the green. I want you to be all the way on the latest and greatest version so that you can get all the benefits of all the work that the Java team is doing, that the Spring team is doing. There's a new version of Spring Boot every 6 months. There's a new version of Java every 6 months. And I want you to get the benefits of that. I want you to get the value of that. But you might have some old workloads running in production. And I want to show you a tool, this Spring Health Assessment, that can maybe like give you a little poke and let you know that there's maybe better things you could be doing than running old versions of Spring Boot and old versions of Java in production. So we're going to copy this command and we're going to come back over to my repository and I'm going to run this. And what it's doing is grabbing a dependency tree of only org Spring Framework and IO micrometer. Let's take a look at that. So this is what's in that file that I am going to send along with over to the Spring team to get this Spring Health Assessment. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to go to the 2.6 demo, and here's the file that we just created, and we're going to send it. And it's just going to take a second to generate that report. In this report, if there's kids around, you might not want them to see this. This report is showing like, hey, you've still got some OSS support on some of those things, but there's a lot of holes in it. You might not want to be running this in production. Your CISO is getting this report. Your CISO is getting this report from other tools. This report is unique. The Spring Health Assessment shows you what's covered, what has support, what's still getting releases. And it also gives you an idea of how hard it's going to be to upgrade. But this Spring Health Assessment doesn't take into account the cheat codes that I'm going to share. But your CISO, if you're running Spring Boot 2.6 in production, your CISO has heartburn, and we would like to fix that. So we're going to jump over here. I'm going to switch out of this repo, and I'm going to come over here. And this is a demo that I run quite often. What we're going to do is we are going to switch. Now, this isn't the demo I want to do. We'll do it anyways, right? This is using an old version of Java. Java 8.0.402 is out, and I would prefer to be on the latest and greatest, but we'll go. So we're using Java 8, not even the latest version of Java 8. I'm sorry for that, but I can't do this one. I can't do this one. I need to go because that one's Spring Boot 1.5, and I just showed you the Spring Boot example with the 2.6 one, and this is it. So let me remove the breaks. I'm going to jump down here and I'm going to turn off the prompt. Timeout. Here we go. This is the demo that I wanted to show. Here's what we're doing. So we're going to step through. And my demo's running. Now we're running the latest version of Java 8 that's available today. We're going to check out, we're going to clone the repository that we just looked at, the Hello Spring Boot 2.6 repository, and we just ran a health assessment. This is not good. This is going to give your CISO heartburn if you're taking this to production. Your CISO is already getting these reports from other tools. But we're going to run it. And you're probably saying, oh, it runs in production and it's fine. And I get that too, right? It'll run, right? But when you took it to production, it probably didn't have any CVs. There's probably no vulnerabilities when you took it to production. But today, it's not that the bits fell off or anything changed in the code. It's that the rest of the ecosystem changed. Right? The bad guys are doing bad guy things. And yeah, software is soft for a reason. It's so that we can maintain it. We can upgrade it. Maintainability is super important now more than ever. But our application is up and running. We're going to hit this actuator health endpoint to make sure. And it tells us that it is healthy. We're going to do one more piece. We're taking a snapshot. And this is how much memory that Java process is using right now. But that's it. We're going to stop it. We'll come back to that later. Let's upgrade. Here's the recipe. We're going to upgrade to Spring Boot 3.2. It's using Open Rewrite. This recipe is a set of nested recipes that knows how to get us from Spring Boot 2.6 all the way up to the latest, greatest Spring Boot 3.2.3 that came out last Thursday. So you're going to see here in a second, then it's going to go from 2.6 to 2.7, from 2.7 to 3.0, 3.0 to 3.1, 3.1 to 3.2. And now we're on the latest and greatest version of Spring Boot 3.2.3 that came out last Thursday. And because we're on Spring Boot 3.x, we have to at least get to Java 17, but we're going to go to Java 21, the latest version of Java 21 from Iberica. And I actually include the NIC so that we can do native images. Java 21 is already middle age. Java 22 is right around the corner. It'll be here next month. But let's start up the application. Spring Boot 3.2.3, the latest and greatest version as of today. And our application has started up. We're going to verify. So the upgrade worked. Our application is still healthy. We didn't do anything. We ran those recipes. This is the way that software is going to be delivered going forward with recipes. And this is an example. Here's how easy it can be to upgrade from Spring Boot 2.6 using Java 8 up to Spring Boot 3.2.3. It's up, it's running. And look at this benefit that we get. Not only is our code faster on the latest and greatest version, but there's actually real dollars that can be saved if you're spending money on infrastructure. If you can afford more than a Raspberry Pi, like I can, that number matters. Even on a Raspberry Pi, I can only fit 2 of those on a Raspberry Pi. But before, when it's on Java 8, I could only fit 1. On a 512 megabyte Raspberry Pi, I was only going to fit one of those Hello World examples. But we're done. I digress. Now that we're on Spring Boot 3, I can do a native image. I can take that code that just seconds ago was on Spring Boot 2.6 running on Java 8. I ran the Open Rewrite recipes. I got it up to the latest, greatest. Now, here's the thing. It only upgraded parts of the application. If I had custom bits, it can't just magically go in and understand the custom code that I've done. But it can upgrade the things that it knows about Spring Boot. And the recipe doesn't include everything under the Spring ecosystem yet. But today, you've got workloads that are running in production that you could upgrade just this easy. And once you get up to Spring Boot 3, 3.2.3, for example, you can take it a step further. If you care about performance, you care about security, you care about the size of your workloads that are running in production, or you've got other concerns like auto scaling, scaling up from 0, scaling down to 0, where milliseconds matter. This is something that you might be interested in. We're using Spring's AOT processing along with GraalVM to generate a native image. So this native image gets rid of the JVM. It's analyzing all the code, analyzing the branches of code, and it's saying, hey, if you're not hitting that branch with these build time configurations, we're going to throw it away. And it's only grabbing the bits that it needs. So it's going to have all the bits that it needs from the application, optimized for this operating system. It's going to grab all the bits it needs from Tomcat that's serving this application. It's going to grab all those bits, and it's also going to grab the bits that it needs from the JVM, and it's going to compile it into a native image. So this Hello Spring app that I just built is only going to work on ARM64 because that's the architecture I'm working on, and Darwin. This is a Mac. So this is not bytecode that you can write once and run anywhere. This is native compiled code optimized for this platform. And there it is. It's still Spring Boot 3.2.3. This is the logs, but it started up a whole lot faster. It's still healthy. It's still doing what it's supposed to do. But look at this. Look at that savings. So if you are running on Raspberry Pis, we start off at 300 megs. If I've got one of these, a Raspberry Pi Zero that only has 512 megabytes on it, I can run multiple of these. I can only run one at the beginning, but I can run a bunch. So if you care about infrastructure, performance, speed, here you go. Let's stop it. It works. I upgraded from Java 8, Spring Boot 2.6, all the way up to Spring Boot 3, 3.2.3, the latest and greatest. And then I made it a native image. And that native image is going to save me a boatload of time. If you're in the cloud, you're paying per millisecond, 95% faster. And it was just took seconds. You've got workloads that can be upgraded just as fast. And if you care about how much you're spending in the cloud, we had a 78% savings in our footprint. So that's it. If you've got time, you want to take this demo for a spin, you can do it right here. You can do the upgrade, but we're not done, right? Because remember, this is the way we started. Let's go and do one more step. Let's jump in here and let's grab these same commands. We're just going to do it again, but we've got new code. OpenRewrite did the upgrade for us. It upgraded the POM. It upgraded some other things. I can show you exactly what it did by doing a git diff. Right here, it only upgraded the POM and upgraded our Java version. But now I just ran that Spring dependencies, clear. Here's my Spring dependencies. This is what I'm going to send up to the Spring Health Assessment Report. That's the one that we did before, but now we're upgraded. Now we're doing the fast version. Oh, whoops, what happened? I'm confusing myself. Oh, here it is. Oh, I'm supposed to be there, but there's not a link there. So let's go over here. Sean, fun, Sean. I gotta find it. Here it is. And then in the upgrade example, there it is. That's the one I want. So we grab that. We're gonna send that over the health assessment report tool. It just takes seconds. And we get back and look at this. Now that I'm upgraded, I'm fully supported. Remember, I'm in the green. So I'm going to get updates as in the open. I don't need commercial extended support right now. I'm going to be getting updates until later in the year, until November 23rd. There's 0 vulnerabilities. And it doesn't take anything. You're on the latest and greatest version, so I get all the benefits. So now, this is the quiz time. Do you want to be here or here? Which one of these is better? This one or this one? This one or this one? So that's all I've got. If you want to take this for a spin, here's my repo. The Spring Health Assessment Report is something that you can do. It's free of charge. Here's the link, tanzu.vmware.com/spring-health-assessment. Take it for a spin. Thanks. So that wave, that'll be my end, and I'll just cut it. So I'm just going to take a slice, and I'm going to cut that video, and I'll release it as a video. I didn't see how long it took. It was definitely less than 20 minutes. Because that's all that I've been live for. I'd like to keep these under 15 minutes, right? Easy to consume, nibbly bits. So that's all I'm doing today is I'm just going to record some things like that. And I'm just going to do it on the live stream, and then I'll go cut the video and I'll deliver them. So they're easy to consume, easy to find, and easy to consume. It's hard to find like the good bits out of a live stream. So I need to do a little bit extra. So I want to do another demo. So I'm going to go over here and look at my list of things. How are you doing today? Where did my list of things go? Please hold. I get my bookmarks here. And that's all I'm doing. So nothing fancy. There's nothing, rarely is there anything fancy happening on this stream. But sometimes there's some good tidbits. I've done some things. Um, you know, when I sat down, there was multiple. I know which one I want to do next. So it's gonna be similar. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of rinse and repeat, and it's okay. It's just slightly different. I'm gonna rinse and repeat this one, except this time we're gonna go all the way back to 1.5. We're gonna do a slightly different demo, but I'm gonna record it. Right? We're just gonna do it because there's this thing. Is there anything else I wanted to show here? I don't think so. We'll do the same thing. This one's going to be interesting. Let's go ahead and update it. Even though I made this repository archived, so it can't take updates. But I'm going to do this anyways. 402, right? 402. There we go. Let's see. I want to remove that Spring dependencies because we're going to generate a new one. And here's why we're going to generate a new one, because the database that's backing this is getting updated every 3 hours, right? There's always new CVEs. So the report that I generated back in 2017, it's not valid today. The report that I generated yesterday, it's not valid today. So I'm going to regenerate this report. What else? Oh, I'm going to go and do the typing before the typing because I can't type and talk. But I work at Broadcom. Broadcom, this is where Spring gets made. This is where we bake it. I'm not doing a lot of the baking. I'm doing a lot of the, I just like to go fast. I like to get into production. I like to do things. I'm a Raspberry Pi fan. And I like the idea, I like the fact that I can run production ready, enterprise grade, Kubernetes native Spring Boot workloads on a $15 Raspberry Pi Zero. This is actually a 02, so that we can actually do it. It's a 02 that has the 64-bit processor. So we're gonna go here, and I'm just filling in the typing, and then I'll start, and maybe we'll cut it up into a demo. But here's the other piece: is I don't like. There's no timeline for me to get these out. That's one of the nice things. One of the nice things about this job is I don't have a lot of like hard and fast deadlines. So if you've got any questions, feel free to ask. I can stop. We can always record these later. But if you've got questions, you're stuck. You're using Spring Boot or you're taking Spring Boot out to the edge, or you're running Spring Boot on Cloud Foundry or on Kubernetes. Like, ask questions. I might be able to help you out. So this time we're going to do a slightly different version of the same thing. But different people use and deploy Spring to different places. And one of my favorite places to run Spring workloads is on Cloud Foundry. There's lots of flavors of Cloud Foundry. Broadcom has the Tanzu application service, a commercial version of Cloud Foundry. It's been running for a long time. And yeah, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to switch over to another machine where I have access to a Cloud Foundry Foundation. Where's my plus button? So let's go over there. This other machine is CF Apps. It has it. Let's do this. Let's... how should I do this? I'm going to do it all. I'm going to do it all. So this is going to take a little bit longer. I'll record it. We'll see if I can get it into 15 minutes. I'll remind me to put the time around it. Let's delete this one native as well. Yeah. And fun, Sean. And this is the one that I accidentally started last time. Upgrade Cloud Foundry. So get status like this. This should be good, right? And let me kick off the tires, the autopilot. So we're gonna not have a timeout here. And we'll go. Hold on one sec. I'm gonna tell some friends. I have one more section. I'm going to do one more little demo here, and then I'm going to let them know, like, hey, I have time to take questions. Let me quick check here. Yeah, I got time. So here's what we are doing. I am going to start. So here's the repository that we're starting with. It's archived, right? It's old. It's Spring Boot 1.5. I'll do this. I'm just reminding myself what we're doing. This isn't going to do the AOT. Oh, yeah, it does. So here, all right. So I'm just recording, right? I'm walking through a demo. These are demos that I give all the time. But I'm going to do it, and I'm going to cut it afterwards. And I'll just take this little section and put it into a video so it's easy to find, easy to consume. And hopefully I stay within 15 minutes. So what's the right way for me to do this? If I want to do time demo, this is what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm going to time it so I can start it. And then there's some like parts that take a while. I'll flip back. So here we are. Hi, I'm Deshaun. I'm a Spring Developer Advocate, and I've just got something I'd like to share. I got a little demo, so we're going to start it. And what we're doing here is, we did some cleanup there. And it's pulling down a different version. So I'll let that happen, and I'll recut. So we don't want that to be the default. So again, this is on a different computer. So here we are. Hi, I'm Deshaun. I'm a Spring Developer Advocate. I've just got some stuff I'd like to share with you. I'm going to run a little demo. In this demo, I'm using Java 8. That's all you need to know. It's the latest version of Java 8, 8.402. I'm going to pull this Spring Boot 2.6 repository, and I'm going to clone it. Am I in the right one? I am. Wait, no, I'm going to restart. This should work. Sorry, I thought that this one pulled from 1.5. So I'm going to cancel it. Here, I have to do JPS. I'm going to kill -9 38484. Okay. Why isn't that pulling from 1.5? One of these does. I just need to double check my stats here. I do these. They all get confused. I get confused. If I go here, fun, Sean, open, rewrite, upgrade. I think it's just this one. So on different machine, hey, there's 3.2. There's 8, old version of 8. Not only is it 8, it's an old version of 8. I don't have the pause on. Okay. And this one is the one that goes with 3.5 or 1.5. Okay. So not as different as I thought it was. But why wouldn't I just do 1.5? I'm going to. I'm going to change it. I'm going to change it right now. I'm going to go back over to this demo, this one. And what I'm going to do is, let's edit that demo. And let's look for where we have 2.6. And let's change that to 1.5. I mean, what could possibly go wrong, right? Like just changing the demo right before you record it. 1.5.0. Oh, I got to change all the, there's actually a couple things I have to change. So I won't do that for time. No. So we'll just do it this way. So instead of being here at 1.5, we'll go here. Or let's just do this one. Let's record this one. All right, because it's a bigger upgrade than the others. It's the same thing. It's the same story, but this one does. I'm not going to go into the native image. I'll just show. But I can't do it without being on the latest version. So let's upgrade this because I saw that. We're going to replace 392 with 402. And we're good. We don't need the nick. So let's go and, oh, wait. Yeah. Replace 392 with 402. Yes. Control X, replace them all. Yes. Wait, replace every 402 with what? No. Come on. Control W, 392. 402. All right, that's it. But this time we're going to upgrade all the way from a Spring Boot 1.5. I changed the prompt timeout. That's okay. I changed it back. That's okay. I want to change this. This active recipes is deprecated. So now this property is rewrite.active recipes. I think everything else is going to be fine. Spring Boot. Let's see. Ended. 2.6 is no longer getting support. I'm just going to do this. Yeah, there we go. Spring 3.2. Yeah, 3.2.3 was released last week on, was it the 23rd? I think it was the 23rd, or was it the 22nd? Let's go take a look. It was released last week. I go calendar.spring.io. Here's, you should know this. Here it is. 3.2.3 was released on the 22nd. All right. Yes, you should be using that now. Oh, I do the dependency already. Well, that's nice. Here we go. Boom, boom. So here's the demo that I'll do. Show you this get status. Get diff. Yeah. Let's go ahead and push that. Right. Get add dot get commit. Use newer Java 8. It's 8, but it's newer. And fix deprecated property. All right, so now the demo's out there. So if you're going to do this demo alongside, you can do it. And I think we're all set. What could possibly go wrong? We're doing it. No, I know how long this one takes. So we don't need to be here yet. We'll come back to that one. We'll come back to that one. But for now, we're gonna do this. This one starts with Spring Boot 2.5. So let's cue that up. Wait, I'm gonna close this other stuff. Gotta make my computer work for these demos. And I should be comfortable having these conversations. So I'll start this one a little bit different. You tell me what you like better. So we're not doing this one. We are doing this one. We just made updates to it 1 minute ago. I need to fix this one too. Sorry, I want to fix that. Rewrite dot. Here we go. So I updated. Oops. YouTube.com/@Deshawn. All right, here we go. So I just pushed out an update. Here's the repository that we're going to start with, and I'm just recording a demo. All right, so we'll start here. All right. Hello, my name is Deshawn Carter. I'm a Spring developer advocate, and I have some stuff that I'd like to share with you. A site that you're probably not aware of is calendar.spring.io. This calendar has all of the releases that the Spring team is pushing out to the community, to you. And last week, on the 22nd, right? Today's the 29th. On the 22nd, Spring Boot 3.2.3 was released. And with it, the latest and greatest version of Spring are awesome, and you should be using them. But not everybody has had the time and the flexibility or the demand to focus on bringing those old workloads up to the latest and greatest. And I'm here to show you that you can be on the latest and greatest, whether it's what you're trying to take to production today or it's something you took to production in the past. So I'm going to go way back into the way back machine, and I'm going to talk about Spring Boot 1.5. So with this repository, and I've archived it because I'm not really using it anymore. It's just here for demo purposes. Don't use it. Don't use Spring Boot 1.5. But I want to show you why. I tell you not to use Spring Boot 1.5, but I want to show you why. This is a tool, the Spring Health Assessment. Watch this. I can do some magic, and I can put that link. I'll put it onto the stream, and then I'll flash it onto the screen. Like, here it is. You can go and grab this tool. You can use this tool, and you can get an idea of where maybe you want to focus, maybe why we shouldn't be running Spring Boot 1.5 in production. So here's what we're going to do. I got a little command here that says, hey, do this first. Let's go over to our repository. I have a cloned version of that exact same repository. I'm going to run this command. This command, it grabs only the org Spring framework and the IO micrometer dependencies, and it puts them into a file. So here's what's in the file. This is what I'm sending to the Spring team. The Spring team loves this information. You are helping the Spring team when you provide them this information because your POM file might have the same things as mine, but in a different order. And the Spring team needs to understand, like, hey, what's happening? So we can understand where the community is, so that we can understand where we need to help take the community forward. So here's an example of what we're sending. I'm going to go ahead and grab that file. And that file, I think I have a link here, in here. There's the file that I just created. with those Spring dependencies. So nothing proprietary, nothing secret. I grabbed the file, I put in my information. You have my information now. We're friends, we're connected. If you're watching this, you can reach out to me anytime. But we're going to submit this report. It's just going to take a couple of seconds. And here we go. Ooh. When the report looks like this, I like to call it the CISO heartburn report, because a report like this is definitely giving your CISO, your Chief Information Security Officer, heartburn. They are not able to sleep. If you're running workloads, if you're running Spring Boot 1.5, there are holes in it, and you're making it so that somebody else can't sleep. So this is a report, and there's tons of information. Your CISO is getting the vulnerabilities. You have other scanner tools. They're getting this part of the report. But there's two other pieces of information here that make the Spring Health Assessment slightly different. It's providing you the information on what's still getting updates. So the stuff that's in this repository, it's not taking any updates. We have this calendar that we've been doing for a long time that tells you, like, look at this. Spring Boot 1.5 was done getting OSS releases back in 2019. Back in 2019. So all the way back here, the green bar is where we want you to be. Right? The green bar is where we want you to be. Here we are today on the 29th. So last week, Spring Boot 2.6 stopped getting commercial releases. So there's no more work being done on Spring Boot 2.6 at all. Not open source or commercial. Today, if you're on Spring Boot 2.7, you could be getting commercial support, or 3.0, you could be getting commercial support. But I want you to be on the latest and greatest versions. I want you here because there's so many more benefits than just the security patches. I want you to get all the cool new features that are included with Spring Boot 3.2.3 that just came out last week. So here we are. This is bad. You're not getting any more updates, and it's going to be difficult. But this report doesn't take into account the cheat codes that I'm going to show you in just a sec. Here we are. Let's jump into that demo. So over here, I'm grabbing this same code, and I'm going to walk through it. So I kicked off my demo. I do this a lot. So I'm going to start with Spring Boot 8 or Java 8, the latest version of Java 8, 8.0.402. So it's new, but it's still Java 8. It's been around for 10 years. And I'm going to clone that repository that we just looked at, this Hello Spring Boot 1.5. We're going to clone it, and we're going to run it with Java 8. And it's going to work. Of course it's going to work, right? It's built on top of Java. I could run Java 1.2. I can run old version of Java still today on my new JVMs. That works. But hey, we're up. We're running. Now, I'm going to look at the health point, the old health point. It's up. It's running. I take a timestamp. Here it is, 353 megabytes. That's how much memory it was using at that time. So let's stop it. We don't want to be using old versions of Java. We don't want to be using old versions of Spring Boot because we don't want to give our CISO heartburn. So here's the recipe. Here's the cheat code. Upgrade to Spring Boot 3.2. This is a nested set of recipes that are freely available, built on top of the Open Rewrite Framework, which is Java code that knows how to go in and look at your code and make upgrades. So here we are. It's upgrading 2.4, 2.5, 2.6, 2.7, all the way up to Spring Boot 3.2. Along the way, it did all the things it needed to do to upgrade my Javox to Jakarta, my namespaces. But now that we're on Spring Boot 3, I have to at least go to Java 17, but I'm going to go to Java 21 because it's way better. It still runs. My application is up and running. Let's hit the new endpoint. Right? It knows about all those things. It's going to hit the new endpoint. That's that actuator health where it used to be health, but my code is still up and running. You can upgrade from Spring Boot 1.5 to Spring Boot 3.2.3 running on Java 21 in seconds. I took a sample of how much memory it's using. And here we go. I just showed you that you can upgrade from Spring Boot 1.5 using Java 8, even the latest version of Java 8, to Spring Boot 3.2.3 that just came out last week without doing anything. In seconds, you can upgrade. And your startup time, this case, it improved. I also saved some money because the amount of infrastructure, if I'm running 100 instances of these in the cloud, we're getting billed per millisecond. We're also paying for all of that infrastructure. I got a 32% savings on my infrastructure bill. So right now, Spring Boot 2.6, and older, they're not getting support, right? 2.7, you can still get commercial support, pay for it, but I don't want you on those. I want you on the latest and greatest version. And here's why. I'm going to go over here to my upgrade example that we just did. We just did this upgrade. I showed you. I can show you the git diff. Here's the changes that it made. Change from 1.5 to 3.2.3, the latest and greatest version. Changed my Java version. Changed some of my dependencies. It made changes to my code, right? It switched from JUnit 4 to JUnit 5. It took care of it for me. But now, what about my CISO? My CISO has heartburn. Let's go over here. Let's grab that same command. Let's run it against my newly upgraded version of this repository. I have a Spring dependencies document. There it is. Only the org Spring framework or IO micrometer. Those are the only things being sent in this report. You sending this data to the Spring team helps the Spring team. So let's grab that file. Hopefully here, I got to go find it. I apologize for this boring part. In here, in our upgrade example, we have this new file that we just created. Let's grab it. Let's send it. And let's generate that report. It only takes seconds. And look at where we are. This is what I'm talking about. This is the fast path. This is how you can get more value, more bang for the buck, right? We can get more bang for the buck. Oh, let's go up here. We saw it. Oh, I cleared it. But we saw that a second ago. I got faster startup time. I'm using less infrastructure. But now, this is the quiz part. This is what we were looking at just minutes ago. Spring Boot 1.5. It's vulnerable. It's not getting updates. Your CISO has a report that they're getting this same information from someplace else. But we ran the upgrade. We ran the cheat codes. And now I'm on the latest and greatest. I'm getting support. Everything in that application is getting support. There are no known vulnerabilities. That might change tomorrow. So you're going to have to run this report again. You're going to have something in place. Your CISO has something in place. The back end for the Spring Health Assessment gets updated every 3 hours. But because you're on the latest and greatest, there is no upgrade. So I want you to think, what's the better report? This one or this one? This one or this one? Yes, this is the better report. This is the report that you want for your org, for your team, for your workloads going to production. If you want to try this out, here's the repository. This is the demo that we just did, and you can take it for a spin yourself. That's it. Thanks. We're done. All right, so we did it. I'm just recording these demos, and I'll go slice it up, and I'll put the videos. Hopefully that wasn't too long, but we'll slice that up, and we'll put it over onto YouTube so it's easier to find. So you can, and here's an example. Like here's an example in that report. Here's an example of a YouTube video, but this is against the old version. So I can always redo these, right? Because we have a new version. Spring Boot 3.2.3 just got released. So we're doing it again. So, hello. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that everybody's here. Network issues. I had some time. I recorded a couple of videos. Jonas, thank you for hanging out. So like always, I don't have anything else to get to production today. And like always, if you come to my house for dinner and you leave hungry, that's your fault. So we're here together. If you've got questions and you don't ask, that's your fault. So you're here. Don't leave hungry. If you've got any questions about anything, Spring, Cloud Foundry, Kubernetes, ask. I have a few minutes before my next meeting. So otherwise I can just stay here and we can hang out and it can be awkward. Or whatever you're working on, wherever you're stuck, you could ask because I'm here to help. So while you think about what question you want to share, I know it's public. We're doing a live stream and I get it. So maybe you don't want to share, but if you know how to get a hold of me, oh, watch this. You don't want to share something public, you go over here to Deshaun.com. That's me. Does it look like me? Yeah. Let's go here. We got to share it. Boom. Wait. Got to put it back on screen. There you go. That's me. Oh, there. That's me. And this little button right here, this is my calendar. If you've got any questions, you don't want to bring questions, onto this stream, you click that button and then you can grab some time and we can chit chat. So, Jonas, thanks. I appreciate you. I'm having a good day. I'm having a good day. You know, we have new versions of Spring Boot that are out there. I'm always learning new stuff. I had a really great conversation with a banking customer earlier today, and I'm jazzed. Like, it has me excited. I really enjoy what I do, and today is just one of those really, really good days where I got to help out some people. I got to teach some people some things, and there's not many things that are better than that. Getting people to that aha moment where like, whoa, I didn't know that existed. That's what I like to do. That's what keeps me coming back. And this week, right, Deshaun.com/Neutro, 2 days ago was my 800-day anniversary in this job. So I've been doing this for a while. So it's been a good time. How are you doing, Jonas? How's your Raspberry Pi cluster coming? How's your Raspberry Pi cluster coming? I have been noodling. Here we go. Can you throw a little light on Spring AI? Absolutely. Let's do that. I think I have a demo here. Let's do a quick one. Let's jump over here. And let's do it this way. Let's go. First, what I'll do is I'm going to draw a picture. This is one of the ways I like to do things. If you are familiar with Spring, Spring Data is the kind of pattern that I like to share when I'm talking about this, right? If I understand Spring Data, if I've used Spring Data, I have probably in my life gone from MySQL over to Postgres or to Oracle or even like to Redis or Mongo. But because I'm using Spring Data, we don't like that. Let's do it this way. Because I'm using Spring Data, I have these consistent abstractions over all of these different, even though these are RDBMS, relational databases, these are not, I still get a bunch of those consistent abstractions. So I have comfort level. You know, I'm going from RDBMS over to NoSQL. I have these abstraction layers and these conventions that are consistent. Because of Spring Data, I'm comfortable moving. There's going to be changes, right? There's going to be specific changes, but a lot of the stuff is going to be the exact same, and I get a big bang for the buck because of Spring Data. Now, Spring AI, right? AI, if you haven't heard about AI, Spring AI 0.8.0 came out last week. And we are all very excited about it. Oh, in fact, if you go to start.spring.io, you will see that AI, all of the Spring AI stuff is in start.spring.io. It's in the initializer. So you can go and take it for a spin. It's fully baked in, and there's tons of great examples. But here's what is Spring AI? What is it doing? Oh, let me go over here. What Spring AI is doing is it's providing a Spring Data-like abstraction over OpenAI, Amazon Bedrock, or Llama, or whatever, right? So that when I'm dealing with AI, when I'm dealing with LLMs, I have a consistent abstraction over the top. And that's all it's doing. That's not all, it's doing a lot. It's really cool. But it's making it so I can do embeddings. So I can have that, I can follow that RAG pattern. Retrieval augmented generation. I also do functions. So we've got a lot of really cool capabilities, but let's just take a look. Let's see if we can get a quick, do I have a good demo here? Fun. I like Craig's demo. Let's change because the one that I did yesterday, this is my favorite demo. If you're looking for a demo to take for a spin, this is the one, and I will show it to you here. GitHub.com, the Spring AI RAG example that he did last month, right? He created it on an old version, but here we are. It still works and it's awesome. So this is the simplest, coolest model demo that I can show you. So we're going to use Spring AI. Let's go up here. I'm going to provide a book. Let's do a PDF. Do I have a good PDF example? Let me do it this way. The PDF that I had, that one did not get parsed properly. So let me find another PDF. Oh, I got one. Let me CP the downloads of the Tanzu runtime.pdf to source main resources tsr.pdf. All right, so I've got this PDF that I want to ask this AI, this LLM, I want to ask it about it. So I put that over here and I called it tsr.pdf. And I believe that's all I need to do. Let me see, Java version. Ooh, we got to switch that. SDK use Java 21.0.2-Graal CE because, of course. So can I unpin the comment? Yes. We're talking about a little bit of Spring AI. Jonah says, going good. I've been working on applications to put on the pies. That's awesome. And Jonas also says, been learning a bit about HTMX over Jitter TEDStream. Yes. The other HTMX expert that I would like you to know is Thomas. Thomas is in our little Discord channel. You need any guidance on HTMX and a really cool framework for using HTMX with Timeleaf. Thomas is who you're going to, Thomas Schuley is who you're going to want to reach out to, and you have access to him. So here, we're back. Yes, thank you for that. I'll hide it. So here's what we're doing. We have a tsr.pdf. We've switched to Java 21. We are going to start up this application, mbnw, spring boot run, per the docs here. But I didn't do anything else. So now it's grabbing, wait, 3.2.1. I don't want that. Sorry, I'm not even going to let you see it, even though something broke here. What happened? Error while extracting, retry, something happened. Calling, okay, here we go. We're gonna remove the /temp. I had another file there. What is it called? What was it? Please hold. When all else fails, read the docs. It gets stored as temp/vector store. Temp vector. Oh, it's not there. Okay. So we're there. Why didn't it boot? But I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to say Spring Cubed because I want to be on the latest and greatest version of everything. So I do Spring Cubed in order to get me there. It's easy. I just made it an alias. That alias I just showed a little bit ago. It's this right here. This is the cheat code. You want that. That's the cheat code for keeping on the latest and greatest. And once you've done it, once you're on the latest and greatest, then that's how you keep it on the latest and greatest. Or you build machinery around it, some automation around it. All right, so now let's try this again. mbnw spring boot run. And hopefully it can parse my PDF. No, it looks like it can't parse that PDF either. Well, that's silly. So here, we'll do it this way. We'll give it a web page about. We'll give it this one here. So I'm going to feed this LLM. Sorry, I didn't test this beforehand. We're going to feed this LLM a URL. HTTPS. Ooh, I can just do it like this. And let's try that again. Boop, boop, boop. Giving it a different resource. Oh, you know what else? Sorry, that wasn't even the problem. The problem was I didn't have my environment set because I'm using OpenAI to parse this. Please hold. I think I can do this. CP. Where would I have that? And why isn't it here? Give me just a quick sec. I'm going to find where my tokens are. As long as Pink Emma's not here, we'll be in good shape. Oh, I think I put it into my repository. Where would I have? please hold. I know where they are. They're over in JavaGrunt.com, right? JavaGrunt has some of those properties. Com, JavaGrunt service, YouTube should have access. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a .env, touch.envrc. I use direnv under the covers. So I'm creating this property here, or this file. And I'm going to export open, what does it say it's looking for? Oops, over here. It's looking for OpenAI API key. So I want to give my local environment that property. All right, but I don't want to give you my secret. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect to my secret store. I use Bitwarden. So I can share this part. There you go. It's going to connect to Bitwarden. It's going to grab my OpenAI API key so that here I am. So now in order to do this, I'm going to say direnv allow. It's going to go grab my key. Oh, I'm not logged in. Oh, so please hold. I got to do this. Wait, why is that not logged in? Something's funny with my environment today, and I'm not sure. So I apologize for that. Here's what I can do. I think I just do BW login, right? Oh. Hold on one sec. I'll put this over to another screen. And I will try something here. Try to not throw in my keys. Do I have a wrong name? I might not have it named properly. That's my super long key. Yeah, so this is a great question. That is how I'm solving sensitive encryption. I don't like to have secrets on disk anywhere. So what I'm doing is I have it in a credential store. I'm using Bitwarden. I like Bitwarden because it's open source. I can have a Bitwarden locally. I can use their hosted, and I can use all the same CLI, and I can just point to the different stores that I want. But I like Bitwarden for that reason. So that's how I handle it. I don't like to have keys on my environment. So now I'm trying to figure out like, hey, why am I not logged in? And I think I know why. I have to go and re-authenticate so that I can show you all this stuff. I just got to remember where it is. So it'll just take a second, and then we'll jump right in. So I'm going to do this, RM. I'm going to log in. I'm going to give myself a session. And hopefully this works. And I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to try to get a copy of that session. Source. It's please hold. So something changed on the Bitwarden side. All right, so I do have that in my, now it's in my session. So in my terminal, this value exists. Just know that it exists. So what I'm going to do now is I want to try what I had before. I want to try that PDF that I put. So let's try it. Let's see if that works. /mbnw spring boot run. This is the simplest of simple. What failed? Did I change my Java version? Oh yeah, I did. SDK use Java 21.0.2 Girl CE. I use an SDK man to switch Java versions. Wait. Here we go. Clear mbnw spring boot run. Right. It's a demo. What could possibly go wrong? We're up and running. It's parsing my PDF file and it's up and started. So now this is what's happened. So if I was just talking to OpenAI, it knows nothing about this PDF that I generated, right? It's not publicly available, but I have this PDF that I generated. And what I'm doing here is I'm talking to OpenAI. This RAG, I took that PDF and I converted it to a vector. I'm using a simple, I didn't add any database. It's converting that file. It converted it into a vector and it's using it as an in-memory vector database. So it's a tiny PDF. But now my Spring Boot app over here, this example, what it's doing is, hey, when I ask OpenAI a question, I'm telling it like, hey, I'm asking you a question, but I want you to take this PDF into consideration. All right. So I get the LLM model, but I also get to feed it my own information that's been vectorized into this vector database. So this is a simple example. And the code is like super simple. Like, hey, here's how the answer is going to come back. Here's the controller. We're going to ask, hey, here's the template for the prompt. Here's the actual controller, the request body. Like, it's straight up simple. That's what a question looks like. And here we're starting. It's a regular Spring Boot application. So we're going to use this HTTP request. We're going to say, hey, thing, I want to ask you a question, but I want to ask you this question that's really specific. It's really specific to this PDF, this data that I've got. So I'm going to play that there like, hey, what annotation? That's not what mine is about. What should we celebrate is something that is specific to that PDF. And let's see what it says. So I'm asking this app that's running locally, what should we celebrate? It's calling out, it's taking that vector database, it's injecting it into the request that it sent out to OpenAI, and the answer, we should celebrate customer calendar events such as Black Friday, blah, blah, blah. We should also celebrate milestones such as onboarding events, office hours, workshops, spring health assessment reports, which we just showed, and the outcomes of building an application inventory. Celebrations can take place at quarterly business reviews and Spring One tours. Amazing. That is exactly what my PDF said. That is stuff that the AI itself can't do. Watch this. If I go and I ask, what should we celebrate? Just to the regular chat. Like, it's going to be a very different answer, right? Right. This doesn't know about my PDF. The ideal celebration, blah, 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 right? This is why this is an awesome, awesome demo, because I can start to feed these LLMs and I don't have to use OpenAI to do it. Again, I'm talking to the same model in the backend. Oh, 4, I could have done this one. But I'm talking to the same LLM and I'm getting specific answers around my set of information. We're just scratching the surface. Spring AI makes it easy. I can switch from OpenAI to Azure OpenAI to Bedrock, and I can do this same example. I can feed it my own vectorized information, and I can get relevant answers back. Hopefully that was a good intro to Spring AI. I do have to jump to another call, but I'm pumped now. I'm excited right now. So I'm going to go do my other call and I'm going to come back and I will see everybody soon. Thanks.